Okay, then we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. And this version of the game has a nice cinematic opening sequence.
Sinister Dragon with all the cute little Drakkies in the background.
Looks like he's hugging the castle.
The funny thing is, I've watched you run this a lot, and I've never even seen it.
Yeah, that Drackie, once you see him, you will never sleep again.
Bye-bye, Betty.
A little preview of the final boss music.
So this is Dragon Warrior. This is a remake of the original game, and the remake is vastly improved in some areas. In particular, the amount of grinding is going to be far less. If you've ever seen the NES version of the game, you probably spend 4 or 5 hours just leveling up and getting up gold to go places. There's definitely some gameplay differences that are going to impact that. As well as you get some nice graphical improvements. Except on the Game Boy version, it's a little bit of a small screen. This has also been remade on the Super Famicom, Japanese only. That's really the definitive version of the game. It's got all of these great enhancements of the Game Boy version, plus a nice big screen.
If anyone doesn't know what a Super Famicom is, it's the Japanese Super Nintendo console.
And it's the controller I'm using right here.
Lovely colored buttons.
Yeah.
Very short cord.
Luckily, because I need to extend it to convert it to the GameCube, I get a nice extra couple of feet. Otherwise, you literally do have to sit like 6 inches from the Super Famicom. Some changes that are going to affect the early game. Monsters have been really rebalanced, so you actually get a decent amount of golden experience from early game monsters. They've also added a feature that showed up in, I think, Dragon Quest V, which allows you to use certain items as in-game for attacking monsters. So I purchased some torches, which are going to both provide us some illumination, as well as allow me to get to level 2 a little bit faster.
A good part of the music.
And as I go across here, I'm actually choosing particular tiles to walk on. The probability of you getting encounters is based on the tile type. So things like mountains and forests are going to increase your encounter rate. And since I want to get extra encounters to level up, I'm going to intentionally go over those so that I get more fights before I get to the next town.
Does the opening zone have half encounter rate?
Yes, around the castle it has half encounter rate.
Oh, were you going to talk about why we didn't have a naming bidding war?
Yes, this is something that was in the original Dragon Warrior as well as in the remakes. The name of your character actually influences your stats throughout the course of the game. So the name that I picked is going to be... a slight has approached me.
What is your command?
The name I picked is one that's going to have what's called an HP strength build, which means that of my stats, hit points and strengths is going to get a little bit of a boost compared to the other ones as I level up. Alternatively, you can get builds that give you more magic points or give you more stats like agility and guard. The reason that we go for HP strength is because you need as much HP as possible for some of the boss battles because you've got break points. For when's the optimal amount of time to heal. So the more HP you have, the less likely you're going to be forced into a healing situation. And strength, for most speedruns, offense is better than defense. So that's kind of how the stat choice gets picked. But now I've made it to the town of Cole. I need that item called the Pixie Flute, which will be useful for putting certain nasty enemy to sleep later on. We also get some of the first RNG. So there are, which was introduced in the later Dragon Warrior games, seeds which give you bonus stats. All the seeds have a range of 3 values. So strength seeds have a range of 1, 2, or 3. I got the worst, which is a 1. If you're doing a world record attempt, you reset right there because it's going to mean that I'm going to be doing less damage to some of the early monsters.
Took that hurt.
Yeah, they've changed the names of some of the spells and items to reflect the later generation of translations. So you don't have hurt or hurt more anymore. Like,
But they were so appropriate.
It really kind of takes away some of that early 1980s character. But now I'm going to walk over to Garenham, which is where my next base of operations is going to be. And I want to get up to level 4 before I go on. Level 3 is where I'm going to get the heal spell. Very useful for the early game, although it's relatively weak in terms of how many hit points it recovers. So very quickly, it's no longer something that you can use in battle because you won't be able to keep up with the enemy damage.
What's the range these days? Same?
Yeah, pretty much. All the spells have the same range for attack and recovery. So if you've gotten used to the mechanics of the NES version, you can pretty much pick this up really quickly. The things that have been changed are more around how much experience and gold that you get from monsters. But beyond heal, I'm also going to need to get to level 4, so I get, I'll call it the hurt spell, because I look like fireball. And that's going to be useful for surviving this next section, because I'm going to go through pretty underleveled, and that means that I don't have equipment or physical attacks that are going to be able to really damage the enemies. And since spells do a fixed amount, that's often a great way to get through the early game. On the flip side, it means that late game, your spells are almost useless. I'm not going to get high enough level probably to get hurt more.
Is gold drop the same mechanic in the GBC version as the NES version?
Yeah, the gold calculation is basically just double your experience.
Is it?
Yeah.
And in essence, it's a fixed amount, and you have 75 to 100% of it, plus 1. 75 to 99 plus 1, something like that.
Yeah, they made it easier to figure out exactly how you'd be routing through that. Now, they did keep the same mechanic of random HP, so monsters don't have a fixed starting HP. They'll be randomly a little bit below their start potentially, but if they cast heal, then they can recover up to what their maximum is.
So all the monsters then, I'm guessing excepting bosses, they're basically starting off already a little hurt.
Depends.
Yeah, more or less.
There's a chance.
No, okay, a chance, yeah.
It's generally small enough that you don't really notice it, except it's something like these really early fights where, 1 HP is a significant thing based on, how good of a strength C I got or something like that. Now, at the beginning of the game, before we actually did the countdown, I picked fastest text speed. And that's a difference for what you do in the Super Famicom version. The difference is just because of how lag works in the Game Boy version versus Super Famicom, which has very smooth, no lag at all. This game is like underwater. It drops frames all the time. I did do an emulator run with lag counter turned on. 1/3 of all the frames of the entire game were lag frames. So some things that you can do in that other version, like frame exact movement to do RNG manipulation or some of the text advancing, is a lot harder to do in this particular version of the game. And there's level 4.
Hurt.
Yeah, I got the hurt spell.
I got hurt.
It's a typo in that, so you can ignore it. And what I'm going to be doing here is setting up a little bit of a glitch in order to do RNG manipulation in the Mountain Cave. There is a rare item which sells for a whole lot of money, but you only have like a 1 in 32 chance of getting it. And what I'm going to do is completely fill my inventory up, because when you open up a chest, it lets you see what's in it to decide whether or not you want to drop something to pick it up. And since it regens the item every time I open the chest again, because I've got a full inventory right now, it's going to let me re-roll again and again until I get to the item that I want. And I have gotten it on the first try several times, and I have gotten it after like 50 tries.
So we should hope for a happy medium of
Hedge your
25.
bets now.
In before marathon.
Bad luck.
Well, we already got a preview with that strength seed.
Over under 45.
Yeah.
Taking the over.
Over.
Push.
Push.
Well, I don't know this game particularly, so I suppose I'll take the under.
Oh.
Optimistic, I see.
Yeah.
I
You
have
don't
no
have
doubt
to know
I'm
the
going
game, you just have to
regret
know
this.
that this is a marathon. Along the way, I'm going to hope to get to level 5 on the first floor of this cave. You're really not supposed to be here until like level 9 or so. So I'm going to be able to very barely deal with the monsters using the hurt spell on the first floor, and then the second floor is going to be very scary.
It's interesting that you're using the mountain cave to kind of glitch something out that's different than the NES version, which uses the mountain
Okay,
cave to
glitch something out. There's an alternative glitch that you'd be doing in the NES version, and that has to deal with how the game tracks treasure chests that have been opened. In the NES version, it's got a limited buffer of those, and so what happens is that you can basically overflow the amount of things it has tracked, which will cause it to forget that you've opened a chest in the past.
So you open it and it never disappears.
Pretty much.
And the way I'm going to play this is basically trying to be very aggressive early on, because if I fail this, I want to fail early as opposed to after having opened all the items on the second floor.
While we have a moment, I don't think we've done a roll call yet.
So I'm Jair, I'm playing Dragon Warrior right now.
I'm Vulcan. I know nothing about this game. Well, I know a little bit, but Jack's my bro.
I'm Poexel. The NES version of this was the first RPG I ever played. And somehow I stuck with the genre.
This is a series that, if you were playing it when it first came out, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it blew my mind that it was possible to have an NES game and it took me more than a weekend.
Hello!
The slime. The slime is flat.
Yes.
You can still win it as a prize.
It's in better hands now.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, yeah, I mean, in the, what was it, 87 that, well, late 80s, basically.
Let's see if we got it.
Oh!
So this game is really lenient for deaths. In fact, I may die as many times as Religion.
Yeah.
So twice.
So optimistic.
It was completely mind-blowing that it was possible to have an NES game that it took more than like a weekend to beat.
And there's a couple
Much more than a weekend.
And there's actually a couple of variations. In Japan, because it was a very, very early game in the NES life cycle, it was kind of cut down in terms of cartridge features. And when they released it in the US, they had things like saving your game. In Japan, you got a password and you had to write it down.
Sprites.
They had different sprites. Japan, you can only face in one direction, for example. And so if you want to talk to somebody, it opens the menu, and then you pick what direction you want to talk, because there wasn't something that knew what direction that you were facing. And those are just kind of limitations of the cartridge format. So we got a little bit of a better version in the United States.
And most of us got it for free, too.
Yeah. Nintendo Power.
Nintendo Power,
Do
baby.
we want to finish the roll call too?
I'm Dragon Guard.
High spirits.
Sire.
I'm Dragon Warrior. I mean, DW. I mean, Darkwing.
Dynasty Warrior.
Dynasty Warrior.
And I'm Alec K47.
I'm DWD Boss Patrol.
So many aliases.
Yeah, I know.
I just can't get over Firebell.
It's on the front page, it needs to be changed though.
I know.
Not the Twitch layout.
I mean, Hurt was so good. And they changed the limitations of like names. You can only have a 4-character name in this version. So they could have kept the 4-character spells as well.
Just about to get to the good part of that music.
Yeah, unfortunately the music resets every time you get into a battle or something like that.
The hallmark of early RPGs.
Yeah.
And that's a problem in this game because its encounter rate is much higher than most other Dragon Warrior games.
It's definitely one where you kind of feel the encounter rate. As you get further into the game, you're going to get items that allow you to turn encounters off if you're high enough level, or eventually a magic spell that'll do the same thing. And I'll definitely be taking advantage of that.
I believe in this version, dungeons are 1 in 16.
Yeah, I believe it is the same, and even though it looks like there's different tile types in here, it's not actually any difference.
Those lag frames.
It really is like moving underwater for a lot of the navigation.
Yeah, and that's why he's actually lighting torches. It's not just for marathon safety too. I mean, even if you memorize this whole dungeon because of the lag, you'd probably waste enough time getting lost to...
Yeah, there's something called bunk navigation. Let me run into a wall.
Yeah, bonk.
You use that as a way to figure out where you are in dungeons if you want to go through this blind. In the Japanese speedrun, because you don't have the lag frames, it's a little bit easier to count your steps, and so you'd be going through this cave without using a torch.
Do you go through the swamp cave when you go through it without a torch?
I mean, I can if I want to, but if you make one mistake, it's more costly than lighting a torch or casting radiant every time. Most of the runners, even for the Super Famicom version, use radiant in the swamp cave. So this floor, I'm going to hope to run away from everything quickly. Running away in this game, basically, the first time you try has a 50% chance of failing. Second try, 25% chance, or 1 in 4. Third try, 1 in 8, and it just keeps 1 in 8 after that. So conceivably, you could fail to run away forever.
Yay! Average. Average.
Down there is an item called the War Ring. It's got the red carpet in front of it. It does absolutely nothing. There's a lot of speculation about maybe it increased the critical hit rate a tiny amount or reduced enemy encounters or something like that for the NES version. And once people got actually into the code and disassembled it, turns out there's only one line of dialogue that references it. All it does is just mention like this different text for one guard.
Great item.
Yeah.
So you're getting that, right?
Actually, my inventory's full, so
Aww.
I'm doing something a little bit improv because I died the first time. I used 2 torches, so normally I would use that Mystic Nut I picked up just next to the Strength Seed, but I'm keeping it as a way to fill that place in my inventory. So, just up ahead is going to be the Choker, which is the Death Necklace in other versions of the game.
What's it called? This one?
Choker. It's not subtle, it's that it's a cursed item. Got the torch. Let's leave that behind. There's another torch.
2,
3.
Are we doing this? Alright.
4,
5.
6,
Ball, ball, ball.
7,
Ball, ball, ball.
8.
Ball, ball.
You guys are still doing it.
9,
Oh, oh,
10. My 45's looking good. 11,
Over looks like you're gonna
12, 13, 14,
Who says marathons aren't education?
15,
Yeah, you should bring your little kids around
Yeah.
and teach them how to count.
16. We need Celeste for this.
Yeah.
17, 18.
Yay!
Yeah.
Under. Congratulations.
Wow.
So there's the Death
Won
Necklace.
nothing.
Yeah. The reason he wants that is to sell.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth a lot of money.
And I'm going to grab that chest. I'll see if I can kill something. If not, the fastest way out of here is Death Warping. So, combat either way is beneficial.
Poltergeist.
Because when you die in Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior games, you just return to the last point you saved and lose half your gold. Which in this game is just decaying tentacle.
Yeah. So Death Warping is often the fastest way to travel.
It's a little more painful in later games when you have multiple characters because only your hero gets revived, and then you'd have to pay money to revive your other characters, which are lost half of. But in this game, not so much.
The enemy was rather rolled. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please don't bro that.
We should get him.
And then the fastest way to exit the castle is to warp out of there. I'll use that in a couple of places where I want to avoid walking or talking to people. Eventually I'll get the return spell as well, so I want to get that item.
While we have a moment, I'd like to mention that we do have 2 prizes available for the Dragon Warrior run.
One just took off.
Yes.
We'll get it back.
Which you may have seen leave the room in the arms of a rather cute young lady, was the slime plushie. And the other prize is a cartridge, Game Boy Color, for Dragon Warrior Monsters. You can see it right there.
Funny enough, it looks like a cartridge.
Need to look very closely to see it.
Yep.
Both are available with a minimum donation of $5,
I guess I'll do this
and
in
were donated by our very own Ozzy889. So thanks very much to him. And there is also the Elgato Game Capture HD, which is still available until Castle of the Winds, for a minimum donation of $15.
Have the incentives for this run been made yet?
What are the incentives for this run?
Let me check.
All those effects of moving his heart. Wait,
Boss
screen
navigation
shifts
now.
like that.
Thank you.
So far, Fight the Dragon Lord at level 18 is at $152 out of $300.
Halfway.
Nothing towards the Puff Puff message.
Oh, wow.
You got the whole game for that.
And the donation bid war for taking or leaving the princess is still $20 to nothing in favor of leaving her behind.
And you got a while for that one too, so I definitely want to make sure that I get a shot at Dragon Lord level 18. The minimum possible that you can really do this game is level 17. That requires a lot of luck, both getting to the Dragon Lord himself as well as the actual battle. This is the hardest version of the game to do that in. Just because when they changed the game between the Super Famicom and the Game Boy version, they did some updates to how the map works. Internally in the Super Famicom version, it's basically half-tile steps. And so, when they did the Game Boy, they simplified it by doing, well, we're going to divide everything into full-tile steps, so half as many squares. We'll change the encounter rates to make sure that you don't notice. But they forgot to change this really important armor at the end of the game that heals you every step you take. And that's your only source of healing for that part of the run. Now we're in Real Ladar. We come here because this is the only place to get magic keys to start off with. Magic keys are basically blocking you. Yeah, it's cheap in here.
I already hate this game.
Thinking of switching to this version now?
No. Seeing key 6 makes me think of Shadow Game.
Let's see what the life 8 chord roll is.
4.
That's the minimum. Yep.
Is it 4,
That was
4 to
2
6?
4 to 6. And we need good HP in order to do as well as we can possibly do on the Golem Rush. That's basically where we're going to go in super underleveled and try to deal with this relatively endgame monster. And there's good reasons for that we'll talk about when we get there. When you see me shopping, I'll often sell the previous item before getting the new one. That's because if you don't have an item of a particular type equipped, it'll offer to auto-equip it for you.
And he's sold the death necklace here in order to afford a much better sword.
Let's get rid of dragon scale.
Oh wow, they put an item shop in there too. Alright, notch 2.
So is it 3 strikes and out?
Yeah, I oh. I doubt we're gonna exceed that.
And now in a world record run, you go on and get your armor upgrade back in Garanham, which is the chain armor. I'm going to grind to 1,000 gold here, which is not all that bad because enemies give about 50 each. And that's because I can get the iron armor only in this town. Iron armor is going to give me 6 extra defense compared to what I get with the chain armor.
So that guarantees that you can tank the golem's first hit then.
Unless the golem surprise attacks you, despite him being a giant guy that you can see visibly on the world map.
It's just like an egg, man. Sometimes just come out of nowhere. Right in front of you.
Wow, that fireball does a lot of damage. Hurt does a
But
lot
lot
of
of
damage. Alright, that's now 4. So 2 notches.
It's not even fireball, it's fire battle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fireball.
That is common, Dragon Warrior.
So in NES version, walking on the desert has a higher encounter rate than the forest. Is that different in this one?
I believe so. I know desert is elevated encounter rate, but I forget if it's lower or higher than the forest.
In the NES, it's 1 of 8. I hate these.
They will ruin your day.
Oh.
I smelled it coming. I mean,
Just don't.
Do we have any donation comments? Yes, he needs to grind to
Yep.
1,000 gold here, so let's have some comments.
Okay, we have a $50 donation from Adam M. Thanks to all the runners and everyone supporting NAMI. You're all awesome. Thank you. You are too for donating. We also have $40 from Brosentia. As promised, here's my moolah for the legendaries. Put this towards naming the character in Castle of the Winds. Sonic 2006 is definitely a decent game as long as you mute it and genuinely believe walls do not exist.
Come on,
I would just like to
we
point
go
out
longer than that.
that there is no limit as far as Rosencher's been able to find on the file name in that game.
A fact of
be
which
creative.
a fact of which he is definitely taking advantage of, and I suppose you could as well. We also have $5 from David Coperial. Good luck on the marathon, and it's great how much the community helps out with all these marathons to support these great charities. $25 from Zelicium. Sad I couldn't make it to the inaugural marathon for RPGLB, but best of luck to everyone there. I'd like to put my $25 donation to some Earthbound bids. $10 for naming Ness Denton, and $10 for naming Paula Carey after the very gracious hosts, and the remaining $5 to whichever window color they'd like.
Yeah.
Well. Is there a purple one? That's her favorite color.
Also, $82 from our very own Freddy, fulfilling my end of the bargain of $1 per death on the Diablo 3 run. This marathon is super hype so far, and I'm having a great time hanging out with you all.
I hope that doesn't break his bank.
Sir Duke's adventures in Whimsyshire were the stuff of legends. Let's fight the Dragon Lord at level 18 because I believe in you. And finally, we have an anonymous $10 donation. Love the event, going through some surgery tomorrow, so I hope you guys will be around to entertain me while I recover. I look forward to watching lots more. And this event goes through Saturday, so we should indeed be around for a good deal of your recovery time, and best wishes with all of your surgery and recovery.
Is that a Montreal Scorpio?
That is exactly what I thought.
See, there you go.
Did you and me?
Yeah.
So Castle of the Winds confirmed more high tech than this game.
Yes. I only play games where your main character is limited to 4 characters or less, so I will also be doing Final Fantasy on Thursday. And you can play Guess the Monster Name on that one as well.
I don't know, man. Walter. Oh. But you can't name it.
Yeah.
So just imagine, you could be playing like the NES version, and there could be like multiple more hours is the best.
If you're in the NES version, you would still be around the original castle. Right up to level 3.
What's our time? I can tell you where we'd be at.
29:53.
We would be
Opening
we
chests.
would be getting chests.
Rephrase that. Opening a chest.
Opening a chest over and over. That does about 20-25 minutes of that. At 6 to 13 per grab, and you need about
5,225.
And
each time you open the chest, you have to open the menu and move the cursor to select.
Right?
It is
take
very
two.
exciting to keep track of how many doors you actually select.
Yeah.
So just,
Diesel was really good at that one.
I know.
so just to clarify about the name of our event, RPG Limit Break stands for Role-Playing Grinding. Just thought I'd clarify that.
So aren't all you folks glad we're running this version of the game?
Hey, you made it to that.
Got 1,000. Yeah. Usually it takes 2 trips. Sometimes if you get really good encounters, it'll only be 1 trip.
Slightly better than the NES version.
Yeah. Like with this attack spell, it's double the damage. Essentially.
And now that I got the steel sword as well, that's basically doing almost as much as the fireball every single attack.
What's this
Plus, you can get critical.
Yeah.
Fireball.
The fireball, or
Hurt bow.
it hurts.
What's the critical rate in this game?
1 in 64 for the criticals.
Speaking of the chests,
Yeah, this is the spot you would grind
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yep, you'd be opening that chest over and over and over again.
The NES version is very trolly there because the cheapest key you could get is 52, I think it is.
Yeah, 53, I think.
53.
But, yeah.
And then the max you can get from those chests is 52.
Yeah.
They were very subtle with some of the like in the Japanese version where you get passwords when you save the game. If you say yes to the Dragon Lord and give him half the world, he gives you a password. But if you put it in, it'll give you back a level 1 character with no equipment. So I'm going down here, which is where the Stones of Sunlight are hidden. You're supposed to get this much later in the game. I'm doing it just because there's a life acorn in the treasure chest here.
5, right? Is that 5?
That was a 5.
That guy has the most boring life ever.
Yeah, he just hangs out here. In fact, he wants to be really boring and traps you in to give you more dialogue, but I just want out.
He's lonely.
It's not like Dragon Warrior 4
he was
where you
like-
bonk into the ceiling in this situation.
He was looking at the place where you warped from.
See, here's the thing though. After you speak to him again, he goes to bed. He finally gets to take a nap.
Yeah. He will just stand there forever.
He deserves it.
You are as cruelty to old men.
No respect for elders.
It's hard being old.
Yeah, is everybody in this room in the club?
I am.
Yeah.
Not actually. Our host is not. That's what we're. Yeah.
No, I'm not a member of the Old Boys Club.
The
Literal.
retirement home.
The literal old boys.
Well, everybody invisible on camera has a 3 in their age somewhere.
And it's not the second digit.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, for example, I'm 13.
Unless you're 23.
You can tell just by looking.
And I got 6 herbs beforehand, 5 from buying in the town, 1 from the treasure chest. I get the torch here, and so I can avoid going to the item shop all the way on the far side of town. That guy in green in the Super Famicom version actually walks around, which can control you. Same thing with the person in front of the flute in Coal.
And walled this off, that's another notch. In the NES, you can accidentally walk out of the town and have to use more keys later.
Actually, that old man by the chest starts in front of the chest in the back. And you have to just hope he walks out of the way.
Yeah. Same thing in the Super Famicom version. Because they don't have enough horsepower to move things around, in GBC a lot of the NPCs are blocked in place.
Is this an early release on the BBC?
Pretty much. Like Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 got re-released early on, and Dragon Warrior 3 got released much later on.
Yeah. 3 is a much more
Yeah,
easy
3.
version.
3 is a lot closer to the Super Famicom remake. 1 and 2 are both got a lot of improvements. Definitely graphically better, sound better, but they didn't have quite as much either text or detail as 3 did.
I believe the GBC version of 3 is also glitchier than the Super Famicom version. There's some kind of
There's a
there's an underflow.
Yeah,
or something.
there's a way to get to level 99 very quickly.
That's not in the Super
By the way, you did notice that you didn't have to go to the menu to open the door or go downstairs.
Okay, that's another notch.
I know. I'm just trying to build the notches right now. That's all.
Making sure this is accurate.
Yeah.
So we're up to what, 6 now?
Yeah.
If I get enough notches, it'll underflow and he'll actually.
Suddenly he'll like it again.
So while we're talking about like Super Famicom versions, like how many times for this are there on the Japanese leaderboard site? I know it's pretty
like
pretty high.
120 or something.
Yeah, like 120 unique people have speedran this game in Japan. And then for Dragon Quest 3, that's their only game where there's actually a cap for your time in order to even get on their leaderboard site.
I think unofficially Dragon Warrior 1 has a cap of 2 hours for the Super Famicom version. It plays significantly faster than the Game Boy version, as well as we're going to be doing some incentives.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Or else.
Please.
Yes, we need incentives.
You want to remind our viewers what the incentives are for this round?
I can.
Off.
And
Puff,
while,
puff. Pafu, pafu.
Fizz, fizz.
So lewd.
and while we're at it, if you could think up a runner's choice, because we do have a donation for that here. But the donation incentives for this particular run are to fight the Dragon Lord, which is going to happen at level 18, to get a Puff Puff message.
Massage.
I guess I probably should have fixed that spelling error.
I thought I did earlier, actually. You should say massage.
You unfixed it.
And also a bid war for whether he should take the princess with him to rot in a swamp or leave her in the dungeon to rot there.
Man, the princess really has a bad life.
You have lots of choices there, really.
At least in the swamps you get some fresh fish there.
For all 5 seconds she's gonna live.
Yeah.
I know he can just drop her the moment he like falls on her.
But still, that means the decomposition error is fresh.
Yeah. So one more change, Darkwing. When you play the harp in this version, you actually get encounters appropriate to the area.
Oh,
So you can use it for grinding.
wow. That's actually a good feature.
Yeah, 'cause it lets you
I was-
enhances grinding.
Is that -1 notches?
Yeah, minus enough.
Wow, I was really expecting another notch.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. I like that.
Maybe if we underflow the notches, Notch will donate to our marathon. I'm just saying, man. You got money, we got a cause.
We've helped out before.
Speaking of that cause, that is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. They are involved primarily in the advocacy and support for those suffering from mental illness. Half of the donation money is going to go to the local Utah chapter, which is more focused on outreach and support, and the other part to the national branch, which is primarily focused on the advocacy part of the spectrum.
And in here I started using sleep. Status attack spells are pretty useful in this version. Both sleep and stop spell can be pretty frequently landed on monsters. It's not 100%, so a lot of monsters have like a 1 in 16 chance of resistance. But when it's useful, it's generally something that you want to do pretty often. Just as a better way to avoid taking damage and having to heal. Every time I go in and out of the menu, it's like 80 or 90 frames of lag, so I want to avoid healing as much as possible.
That's over a second just in lag, too.
So what are you grinding for right now?
Right now I'm going for level 9. I don't have to get level 9 here. I can also get it on the walk to the golem.
The slime has returned.
Yes.
A wild slime appears.
Command?
Command is donate to make it yours, potentially.
$5.
What?
$5 minimum bid. That's all you need.
And I just got level 9 there, so I'm going to Death Warp out of here, which is, again, often the fastest way to kill things. Like yourself.
Do enemies have full resistance, or is their best resistance 1 to 16? Because that's what lets you task in this version. Is that no enemy has a 0 and a 16 resist.
15 out of 16, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are 15 out of 16.
Well, like the Dragon Lord, is he completely immune, or?
Yeah, they've done some things with the Dragon Lord. He is a much tougher fight. Basically, he's got double hit points. He's got a wide variety of cure, sleep, and attack spells.
Dragon Lord is the final boss, if anyone doesn't know.
It was nice of that guy to heal himself while you were trying to die.
You want to make sure he was fresh and ready for the next adventure.
Preempting heal, that's all. I'll get ready for the damage you're never going to do to me.
So now we're going to do the Golem. The Golem is guarding the town of Cantlin, which you're not supposed to go to till really, really late in the game. It's pretty much the very last overworld zone that's there. And in the NES version, the Golem was just kind of like a roadblock. It didn't have any side benefit. I think you got like 5 experience for beating it. And in this version of the game, they really beefed it up. It's like 2,500 experience.
Oh, wow.
So rather than grinding, which as you can see, monsters are not giving me very many experience points here. And even if I went to other zones, kind of like 40 is the most you'll see, and those are going to be much more dangerous encounters. So if I can survive to the Golem, and if I can survive the Golem fight, then you get instantly like 2 or 3 levels.
I prefer to think of it as can win, not can't win.
Not if the Golem says no.
No.
Yeah.
And I've got enough hit points that if I can get to the Golem, I can survive because I picked up an item called the Pixie Flute and Coal, which is guaranteed to put him to sleep for at least 1 turn.
That's the whole purpose of the item.
And that's the whole purpose of that. And I say guaranteed to do it, but as Puexel has seen,
Yes.
the Golem can surprise attack you, and then you just die.
Surprise attack by the creature that you approach.
Yes. I mean, especially the way they depict the golem in this version.
He is
too.
bigger than the town. Literally.
Yes.
That's actually different from the Super Famicom version, because that one he doesn't need, I think, don't even think
Yeah, the Super Famicom version is actually hidden. You walk up to the town and suddenly you're in a battle. But in this one, you can see this giant golem, but he'll still surprise you.
Seeing people run from Goldmen always makes me sad too, just because I always they're worth so much money. I mean,
Yeah, it's like 600 in this version.
Yeah, I
mean,
will never
they're
fight
by
this.
far worth more money than anything else in the NES version.
Yeah,
probably.
same thing with this version.
So down here is the zone where you might very rarely see metal slimes. There is a technique both to manipulate metal slimes to appear as well as to kill them that's mostly done in the Super Famicom version. The manipulation is actually using the silver harp. If you play it on the correct frame, then since it will instantly get you into battle, it'll be the battle with the metal slime. Because battles are determined by what frame you're on. And there's all kinds of crazy tech there. You do like input buffering, there are 2 accept buttons with different timings that you can use. Like, it's really complicated how you set that up. And
like,
then,
like I said at the beginning, I mean, this is an old and very simple game, but hey,
there's a metal slime.
yeah.
And then when you're actually fighting it, I'm intentionally not using the manipulation there for killing it. Yep. You saw that the slime was dodging a whole lot. It's not because he's got really high evade. It's because the slime has, I think, 255 defense, or whatever is the max internally for representing this. And if the enemy's defense is greater than your attack, it'll randomly do either a miss, which is equivalent to 0, or give you 1 damage. And that's based on whether it's an odd or even frame.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, I mean, as simple as this game seems, there's a lot of depth and complexity to how it works and how you speedrun it.
When you learn to speedrun Dragon Warrior games, learning the formulas is incredibly important for routing. Story death.
Yes.
I was thinking of a different pun, but I didn't want to say it.
Star Raven's actually not as bad as the Shadow Knights, so.
Yeah.
But it's the number 2
So
killer.
even though he took a death there, this is still much, much faster than the alternative. to
I
get to
think
the
I can
level
take
he
13
needs.
deaths before it's not. And the reason I switched to trying to put him to sleep rather than running away is because sleep has a much higher chance than even the second run on it.
Not
Not
that
high
Uh,
enough.
but not enough.
That marathon luck.
10% chance to fail is equal to 100% chance to fail.
Yes.
Dragon Quest math. It's always half of what it's supposed to be.
Well, it's Dragon Quest Math Plus marathon luck.
Yeah. So that's a quarter of what it's supposed to be.
At best.
Now you saw us running away earlier on. You will actually have a 100% chance to run as long as you're 7 levels higher than the target level for the zone. So it doesn't matter what particular monster you're fighting, it's all what zone square that you're in. Everything in the overworld has basically blocks, and then dungeons have for each map that they're on the zone. It's not quite regular blocks, but you kind of figure out where the boundaries are based on you walk one step and suddenly you've got different enemies appearing.
Early RPGs also have the most known one is the Peninsula of Power in Final Fantasy. But this game has, I'm not sure if the GBC version has, but in the NES version there are about 4 squares where you can, near Rimaldar, where you can run into late game enemies, which is not recommended in any way, shape, or form to this game. In Dragon Warrior 3, we do take advantage of that for a battle.
Yeah, this game has the opposite, so there are a lot of places where you kind of curve back into lower level zones.
Oh, really?
Like around the mountain cave,
Oh,
getting things like
that
scorpions
part,
and
yeah,
magicians,
yeah,
but
that
then
part,
as you near the cave, you get like regular red slimes and blue
Yeah.
slimes and drakis and things like that.
Oh, is it kind of like Final Fantasy, where it's just based on square-shaped
Yes.
zones?
It's not square, and they kind of moved the zone lines around between versions of the game.
Oh, did they?
So you'll see maps on the internet, and you have to know what version that's for because it's very difficult to get correct information for speedrunning a game that has a bunch of remakes. 'Cause
Yeah.
They changed all the stats.
Yeah. Like Final Fantasy IV is kind of in that regard too. 'Cause like even if you're looking at the Super Nintendo version, a lot of times finding stats they're from the Japanese version, which is totally different.
Ow.
Hey, I remember you.
Ow.
Same guy, I think.
Ow.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Clearly, we're having better luck because our friend is returning.
So there's the
Oh,
golem.
he was here before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is
he's
he?
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
He's a big one.
Yeah.
somehow you can miss that.
Looks
That's a
like
goal.
he wants to crush the town.
In
not
before
block it.
surprise attack.
Oh, okay.
And you'll be hearing this Pixie Flute tune quite a bit. I'm going to try a technique called 2-in-1, which is basically trying to get 2 actions in between every fight for the golem, so that I can heal its less. That one failed. But I do have a lot of resources to keep trying it. It's worth doing just because it'll cut like 7 off, if you can keep it up. Pure RNG whether or not he's going to wake up on the second turn.
Yeah. So every time he plays the flute, the golem is guaranteed to be asleep for at least 1 round, but after that it's random whether he wakes up or not. So what are the odds of him waking up?
Surprisingly better than you think. And around level 10, you very rarely see it on level 9, but around level 10 you can also start sometimes going first before the golem does. And that helps tremendously with this, because then you not only have a chance of him waking up, but also whether or not you go first in the next round after that.
Mm-hmm.
Since we already got a bunch of hits in, I'm just going to go back to 1-in-1, which is what you do if you don't have any resources left over.
Such a beautiful flute.
It's wonderful too.
That pick Z flew.
Yeah. Now, if you're doing this at like level 7 or even lower, which I've sometimes done, you're only doing 7 or 8 damage on him, so it's even double the number of rounds.
Yeah, and you're not guaranteed to survive his opening attack either,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Unless you get perfect life acorns and you got the life acorn in the castle.
So it doesn't even matter if he's already asleep. It'll count as
Yep,
putting him to
it'll
sleep.
stack again.
I don't think that's in the NES version that I'm aware of. That'd be interesting to test.
Does it actually matter as much as the NES version? Because you're doing it at a higher level.
Aren't you just fleeing if it fails, though, after the first turn?
No. Not that I'm aware of. No, wait, it works.
I'm thinking, I mean, after the first turn.
I never fled.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, so defensive.
I've never fled. It's not in my life.
Yeah. I speedrun RPGs, but I have a problem with running away.
I'd rather die than flee.
If you want to be really daring, you keep a calculator total of how much damage you do, and you actually attack on the last turn, even if he's awake.
There we go.
Yay!
Woo! And there's our big reward, which is the reason that we come and do this.
Bring on the levels. All 2 of them.
Yeah. If I got there,
That's a lot of levels.
like if you played a Dragon Warrior game, getting multiple levels in one action is pretty significant.
So you're using up all your herbs.
I make sure I'm very healed, and that's just because I want to free up inventory space. This is the first town.
Yeah, and you can't
where
get
I'm gonna buy
encounters on
repellents.
those
Yes.
steps, right?
That's
you
why I
can.
thought you were healing. It's like, yeah.
No, you can get encounters on the steps.
Yeah.
There's a vault in this game?
There is a vault.
Alright, next.
Not.
There's a vault. They're
So
linked
many
between
vaults.
towns, so I can pick it up back in any town that also has a vault.
You can also store money.
Yeah, and the purpose for that would be that you don't lose it if you die.
So you have a vault to put items in, and you can recover them from any other vault in another town.
Yep.
And if you die, you go back to the last place you saved with you lose half your money. This game is Pokemon, right? Like, that's what this is. This is Pokemon.
This might have come out slightly before Pokemon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what you're saying is Pokemon is Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, in fact, if you win the prize for this block, which is called Dragon Warrior Monsters, you might think
Yeah.
it's a lot like Pokemon.
Yeah.
A lot of 4s for those seats.
And again, that is a $5 minimum bid to win Dragon Warrior Monsters for a Game Boy Color, as it is also a $5 minimum bid to win that slime plushie.
And you can recruit him in Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior Monsters.
We also have a few donations, if now is a good time.
Before you tell me the donations, tell me whether or not I should be taking or leaving the princess very shortly.
Thus far, it is leave her, I believe. Let me refresh once more real quick. You are still leaving her.
Good choice.
Poor girl.
Look,
Well, considering her fate, is it really a poor girl?
We
So-
want to give her a little hope, you know?
before we dash
Maybe
it against the
You'll
swamp.
make it out of the swamp without dying? I don't know.
I'll tell you her story after we hear these donations.
True, perhaps she is a survivalist princess. We shall find out soon.
Well, for now.
If the people will it.
Yeah.
Donations will.
Oh no, she's doomed either way.
Anyway, donation comments.
Donations.
We have a $25 donation from Quiet Kitten. Reads, Quiet Kitten here. I wish all of the runners the best of luck. My donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Which
$10
is level 18 Dragon Lord.
Until that is met.
We have a $10 donation from Wells JC. Just saying good luck to everyone. A $100 donation from Abda Jr.
Oh,
yeah.
Abda.
Hey guys, Abda Jr. here, wishing I was there. Good luck to all the runners. I'm ready to watch everything that I can. $100 to name Luca Wonder for no particular reason.
Yeah, thanks, Abdo. We wish you were here too.
Agreed.
Also a $25 donation from Gramora. Just wanted to say that limit break is a treat as I finish my last paper for the semester. I am currently in grad school to become a counselor and have struggled with anxiety and depression myself. That so many of you are coming together in support of Nami warms my heart. You are all amazing. Go fast, let's see that Dragon Lord at level 18.
Nice.
And finally, we have a $40 donation from Meta Sigma. As promised, here is the 40 for 8 legends in Diablo 3. Running through Whimsyshire and stopping the evil ponies, and some flowers and other weird things as well, was very, very good. Thank you all for helping make this marathon a success, from the tech station to the hosts to the runners themselves, and most importantly, the people watching and donating. You have all shown the power of generosity and desire to do good in the world, and I am grateful to be a part of this wonderful community. And there's a flex. Flex hard and flex strong. Also, 20 towards Sabin being named Metasigma, or Metasigma. And the other 20 for naming the boy hashtag Nami is awesome.
Thanks, man.
Mountain Sigma.
Mount Sigma.
Mount Sigma.
Montreal Sigma.
There's no L though.
Yeah. So this next stretch, we're going to be taking advantage of a pretty significant change in the remake of the game.
Yeah, so you saw one princess getting kidnapped, but really she had a lot of sisters.
Well, I guess we're leaving her for the moment, so
How many was that?
many.
950.
Many entities.
So this dragon has been super buffed from the regular green dragons. So they did give the dragon extra.
Yeah, because in the NES
XP as
version,
well.
it's just an ordinary green dragon that isn't really worth a whole lot to fight.
So
23.
there's a girl up there, but you guys are afraid of her. So we're going to go out and kill ourselves in this swamp here.
Agreed.
Yeah, but if you do want him to rescue the princess, you can. What's the bid war at right now?
Last I checked, it was still 20-0 in favor of leaving her.
Yeah, so if we have 21 or more dollars in favor of rescuing the princess, he'll do so. And wait, what do you mean next time? You killed the dragon, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. You know, Princess Laura has now died. We left her in that cave full of dangerous monsters who have probably eaten her to shreds at this point. But
Eaten her to shreds.
No dragon to protect her.
Well, the bones may protect her.
But there's no dragon to protect her anymore.
Yeah.
Dragon bones.
The dragon wasn't there to keep her there. The dragon was there to protect her.
I mean, it's a love story. You guys just ruined it.
But anyway, she has a younger sister. The king was not good with names. Her sister is also called Princess Laura. She's now taken the throne. And she is waiting to be rescued as well. And that is why we have this opportunity for you today to decide the fate of Laura II. Or the third, or the fourth, or however long this happens to
Which
go on.
sister
You
survived?
could eventually, if you choose, temporarily save at least one of the sisters.
Well, I mean, they're going to go in the swamp with
Quote-
me.
quote
And-
unquote.
I said temporarily. You know.
And-
Give them some reprieve. Show them the outside world and the beautiful poisonous swamp.
The mountain ranges, the beautiful mountains.
The friendly slimes.
Yeah, I mean, at some point that swamp will be up to your ankles and tiaras. Like, you won't be taking swamp damage.
It's hard to see the mountains from below the swamp.
It'll be like
No, the beautifulness of the skin-eating acid.
well, in that show, Mallard Stories, where there's like a vault and the main character dives into the vault full of gold coins. So this one's tiaras. And
So the dragon that he just woke up surprise attacked him.
I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Oh, shout outs
That's
to the
good, that's
animation,
good.
because I think this is kind of the best version of the game as far as the animation of the dragon too. 'Cause well, you don't even see it in the NES version, right? It just
Yeah, he's completely hidden in the NES version. In the Famicom version, or Super Famicom version, it's like this little tiny puppy. But they made the dragon really big and imposing. 4 tiles, you can still miss it, but
However, in Super Famicom,
it's gigantic compared to you.
he talks.
What does it say?
I don't remember.
Alright.
Rar?
Yeah.
I
It's
remember
a little
this.
more than that.
There is a little bit
Don't
of
take the
complexity to
princess
this
away
too,
from me.
because because he has to kill himself in order to respawn the dragon. He wants to win this battle with as low HP as possible, so that he can kill himself in the swamp the fastest. So he is trying to track the amount of HP that the dragon has.
Are we still leaving the princess behind?
I believe so.
You're going to be refreshing that quite often.
Yeah. You just like press F5 continuously.
I don't know.
It is still leaving the princess behind.
Bye-bye.
See you, lady.
Well, Laura the Second.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know her for very long, but
I don't think we met.
I'm sure she might have been a beautiful girl
On the bright-
until she was eaten by monsters.
On the bright side, we are up to $207 out of $300 for fighting the Dragon Lord at level 18. Although on the
Yeah.
not so bright side, we are still at 0 out of 150 for the Puff Puff message.
Ooh. Don't you want to see a Dragon Warrior uncut?
Just think of all these
Uncensored.
unemployed slimes.
Uncut?
Right? Yeah. Well, same thing.
All the poor slimes,
I mean,
unemployed.
I guess Nintendo of America is still involved a little bit.
There's this thing called the Puff Puff Massage, which has been in every Dragon Warrior game from the beginning, but it was deemed too racy for America, and so it was taken out of the early NES ones. But this is your chance to bring it back. If you're wondering why I stopped right there, it's because those repellents last for exactly 64 steps. And if you go the 64th step, it'll pop the dialogue box, which takes like 3 seconds to tell you your repellent has run out. So you just stop one step before there and refresh it.
Have you ever thought about the pretty dragon's feelings during this whole process?
Look, he's stuck with that girl, so I think I think it's an improvement for him.
Maybe she has a real bad, annoying personality and we're just helping him out.
I think the main thing is about that.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is you have to at some point donate for us
She's kind
to
of
pick her up,
demanding.
so you can see what it is about her.
She definitely doesn't take no for an answer.
No.
Yes.
Well, let's think about it this way. I mean, whoever keeps kidnapping the princess and all her sisters, I mean, they keep seeing this guy come up and just beat this dragon to a pulp, so they feel pity for the guy, and so they rehire the dragon to guard another one of the sisters. And then this guy just shows up and beats up the dragon again. And so, pity.
Wouldn't
rehire-
word get around though?
This dragon
Is
has
that-
an awful
Wouldn't word
lot.
get around at that point?
I wonder what the
think
dragon
so,
feeling
but
has
no,
to say
because every
about
time
this.
they
Where are
leave-
my green dragon brothers? Oh, you're gonna hire me? The guy that just hired my last brother?
Every time they leave the swamp, they keep dying in the swamp. The word can't get out.
I think what you should be aware of is the Dragon Lord's castle is like 4 squares away from where you start. So the fact that when they kidnapped her, they didn't take her there. They went to this cave really far away from his castle.
I believe I should mention, though, that we just had a change in the bid war.
Oh no!
We now have $42 in favor of taking the princess and $20 in favor of leaving her.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So Laura the Third,
Laura
got left in the cave, but Laura the Fourth
Fourth.
is going to get rescued.
Laura, the some number.
Well, she could be left in the cave if, you know, a $23 donation comes in before we get there.
You'd have to
Yeah.
snipe pretty hardcore. That page only refreshes every 5 minutes. So good luck.
Maybe there'll be a lot of encounters.
A long dragon.
With
ride.
repellent on.
This is the one time I actually do the walk without repel. So I'm trying to stretch it as long as possible.
Yep. Give the princess as many opportunities to be heard and seen as possible.
Yeah, because he's about to learn the repel spell, which has the same effect.
So what makes repel better than the repel ant?
Well, it doesn't cover you with ants, which was a big plus.
Well, presumably the repel ant wouldn't either. I mean, the ants wouldn't. They'd be.
No, you're covered with ants instead of everyone wants to get away.
Oh, the ants perform the act of repelling. I
Yeah.
see. To repel ants. Okay. That makes sense. Very, very twisted there.
That's how all the Dragon Warrior things are named.
Agreed.
You think I'm
I
joking?
did
You should,
have
you should
one
play Dragon
relative
Warrior
that could
8.
have called her the repelled ant.
All I know about Dragon Quest is that the spells are all named like Crackle and Sizzle and
Frizzle.
Frizzle.
Yeah.
I want
Wait,
my
I know.
I want my Infernos to
Focus
be a
on the
wind
slime.
spell. Thank you very much.
The spells in 8 and 9 are just like, it's like going from hurt to fireball, okay? It's just that much
Excuse
downhill.
me. Hurt down.
Fireball!
Fire bell.
Okay,
And you are still taking the princess.
Alright.
thanks
So,
everyone.
hey, the princess!
Thanks.
Hi!
Laura the Fourth.
Oh, Laura.
Laura the Fourth.
Ironically,
Draco.
we had a donations reading, "You should rescue Princess Lara the Fifth, poor thing," from Murnko.
Well, this is a little bit of a weird girl because she says blush out loud.
Oh, Tyre! Hi! Thank you! Blush!
Well, did she take no for an answer in that question that came up earlier?
I guess we'll have to find out the
Yes.
next time.
Oh, man.
But I
That
don't
is a fantastic
I
You
don't-
better get her back to the castle.
I don't have a way of putting her down, so let's actually take her back to the castle and give her a tour around here. Because she probably hasn't been to the castle for a while. All these great rooms, the treasure room. I think that's her quarters upstairs. Maybe her mother's. I don't remember. There's the guards going to the king. There's some more quarters. I haven't actually gone through this place. It's a speedrun, so. Let's talk to the merchant. She hasn't been back here at all. There's all kinds of places that you don't see normally.
Seems like uncouth for her to go to. This is like the back end of the castle.
Agreed.
So she never sees it.
Yeah.
She probably has never talked to these guys down here, and that's probably something she wants to experience.
Well, you gotta think about this. This is the 4th one, so she's been living in the cave her entire life. Maybe this is the first time she's ever seen that.
Oh.
Whoops, slipped.
Oh well. I'm sure Laura the Fifth will fare much better.
I know.
Yeah.
We loved you so.
Just to be clear, he got electrocuted and so did she.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or was the game laggier when you were holding the princess?
It was.
It's really hard to tell.
It composites the two sprites into one. Every frame.
It doesn't look quite as awkward as the Cecil and Rosa hug sprite in the fifth floor, though.
That is the best sprite.
We also have Lydia saying "scream" in that.
Shoutouts to Gerzer Grams.
Yes. Which we'll be having 4 of on Saturday.
Delicious and nutritious.
We also had a $5 donation from Zalik, which reads, "I wish AGDQ would take a cue from y'all and do only RPGs. Alternatively, please play RPGs for a week."
That we can do.
5 days count as a week,
It's a business week.
Agreed.
and we're open on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And Sundays.
Maybe into Sunday, yeah.
Well, I hope we don't go into Sunday, because that means bad things for the schedule staying on track.
That just means a lot of people saying farewell.
So are we taking this princess?
Laura the Fifth survived in her cell, or
Has there been any change in the bid war?
oh, the family's not spared yet.
Because I'm losing frames here, people.
Not as yet. It is still the same count, 42 to 20.
We loved you so, Fifth.
You should tell her no this time.
I guess we'll try to get out of this.
Yeah.
I really would like to avoid carrying this princess around.
Yeah.
No, in the Super Famicom version, you actually have to pick her up and carry her. And that's a change between the versions.
Yeah, you have to kill
Great
every
change.
time.
And she does. I believe she does also say blush in Japanese in the Super Famicom version.
She says,
too.
"Oh."
It's in the quotes.
Think of all this time we're losing talking to her.
Yeah, I mean,
She doesn't talk very fast.
Would you be so kind as to take me back?
But thou must.
But thou must.
No, really, no.
Aww.
Blush.
You only rejected me 3 times. I'm still in love with you.
But a 4th time, man, we wouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Gyra, you caved way too easily there.
Well, we'll
Fine,
put
we're outside now.
yeah, we'll put this one back.
She just dropped her, shoe.
It's like we need to go back for the car keys. We're looking for your earrings. Like there's lots of stuff that we can go
Not
around.
there, not there, not there.
So I know this
Oh,
one
I
has
haven't been
evolved a
paying
lot. So we used to have 6 swampy princesses, right? So now we've got, 3 abandoned princesses, 1 electrocuted princess, and 1 swampy princess. What's gonna happen to the last one?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Is this the last,
This is the last one, huh?
No, we're gonna be doing a whole lot more princesses.
Their family's in trouble for many
I
generations.
said they're out evolved.
Like the king is completely unconcerned. We've been killing his daughters off. Like every time we go back there, it's just like, oh, you died? Well, keep at it.
But it's
Yeah.
thankful you keep killing the green dragon.
I'm sure eventually you'll probably successfully rescue, like, one of my many daughters.
Yeah, it's like
this...
he's got like 35 mouths to feed. It's like
Yeah,
he's looking out. It's like this is great for me.
This is like a complete conspiracy green going on here. The green dragon, the king, and the dragon warrior are all in on it. The king does it so he doesn't have as much overhead, so to speak. The green dragon doesn't actually get killed, he just puts up a fight. He gets something to do, and the dragon warrior gets, heroics for him.
No, I'm against that a little bit here, first off, okay? Because he is getting killed. And this is shame on all you guys, worrying only about the princess. Think about the green dragon children
Yeah.
that you're taking out, okay?
See, we're
There's
actually-
a proud father somewhere who's
You're
suffering.
not only killing off the entire line of princesses, but you're also killing off the entire line of dragons.
I know.
Let me tell you, dragons local 401, they're not very happy about this.
Everyone
Be
thinks of the
step in.
princesses. Someone please think of the dragons!
Green dragons, soon to be extinct.
So am I taking
Or
this
at least there's a
princess?
stronger version, because the weaker versions.
Are we taking this princess?
You are indeed taking this princess.
I thought we explained it. She's gonna say blush every time.
Blush.
Like all the sisters are weird like this.
Grins. They probably all studied in the same like finishing school, so they were instructed to say blush out
That's an
loud.
appropriate school.
I could just see like a jail cell with a green
get it.
dragon open up the door
good.
saying, "Come on, you're next."
Some hidden door in the back.
A revolving door at that.
You hear like an alarm, ding! Next up. They're in a ticket line. The green dragons are like, "Don't pick my number next. Don't pick my number next."
Ticket number 27.
No! Fine then, woman. Come on, Laura. Let's go.
You see that one green dragon in the back that has number 2,574, and I think I'm good. I've been here at a good time.
I'm glad I was late today.
So the vault company in this world has a really fast courier service because you gate drop these items off in Camplin, I believe.
Yeah, even though I can barely make that walk, they have no problem sparing them out.
Well, I mean, you took the golem out, so they're good.
The golem wasn't what killed me.
Hey, even they can get the return spell, okay?
How do they get home?
You get locked in the dungeon behind the green dragon.
It's fine. They use lots of repellents. None of the wyverns wanted to come near them.
we have any donation comments?
We do have a $5 donation from Light Eagle, which reads $5 to name main character in Suikoden as Sir Doof because Sir Doof must continue his adventures. As well as a $50 donation from Timothy Guthrie, which just reads RPG Jerkbird.
There are a lot of birds that are jerks in this game, I will have to say that.
As well as a $15 donation from Carpet Crawler.
Oh, hey, thanks, Carpet Crawler.
Glad I got home just in time for the princesses. Good luck, Gyre. Don't keep those swampy princesses waiting. How else are they going to get their swimming practice?
Well, with the stack of princesses that we're building up in the swamp, pretty soon they'll just be walking on the back.
Yeah,
We're
it's a
just
way to
making a
drain the
bridge.
swamp. Yeah.
We're just making a bridge, that's all.
Yeah,
Bridge to nowhere.
Nice little pathway to...
So Princess Laura,
Lush.
maybe the 8th, I'm losing track here.
I think we're on 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Our princesses.
She's going to have to die for that blush.
Hey, look, a red swamp, a blush.
We're literally building bridges on the backs of royalty.
Okay, I'll give you some credit for that one, okay?
Oh, how could you die, Gyre? This is quite
Please
disappointing.
rescue my daughter again.
I guess.
Why does this king keep hiring you if he wants you to rescue his daughter?
I guess part of my question here is like the king. Somehow you get back to the king, so presumably like the king either like gets you or like sends his dudes to get you.
I know.
Presumably they would realize that you died along with the princess. They bring you back, but not her.
Well, as I
She's
see it,
underwater at the swamp. You were laying on top of her.
as I see it, they're actually thankful now because every time they come get you, there's a bridge that's making it safer to get to you.
Some sacrifices must be
I
made.
know.
For the good of the people.
Wow.
Red cloth-like material here. I can walk across it, so, well, let's go. We gotta get this guy. King told us to.
Miscellaneous fact, there's actually 2 routes to the dragon. They are exactly the same length in terms of steps to walk on. Hopefully the dragon has marked the way with his 4 tiles.
That was nice of them. Very, very nice.
And just a reminder, we are doing this in benefit of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. They are an organization dedicated to the support of those suffering from mental illness and their families, as well as advocacy on behalf of those suffering mental illnesses and their families. And once again, you are saving the princess.
Saving.
Yes.
I will thoroughly save this princess.
It will save her to death.
Right now, we're just doing some world reconstruction, that's all.
Blush.
The saving takes place nevertheless. What happens thereafter is another matter.
Blush.
Fortunately, the princess just lifted the princess
Yeah,
up
yeah.
when he,
Yeah.
when he did that.
She's too heavy to carry out of here.
Agreed. Sorry, but your princess is not small.
I'll give you another chance, though.
Yeah. Very early on, I used to take the princess to every single swamp in the game. Just that variety. Like, she had a favorite swamp, and then we towards all of her options. We would vote which is the classiest swamp for me to drop the princess into.
I haven't dropped one in this square yet. How about we drop one here?
And I'm kind of a fan of electrocuting her.
It's pretty good.
That's so cruel.
Yeah, man, dropping her in the poison swamp, that's a lot less.
No, because think about it, because he's actually taking the time to take her to electricity. So it's like, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free.
Sure, you do.
Yes,
You do.
the electricity is a lot quicker. Out
You
here, it's a
tour her
slow,
entire
painful
home, though,
death.
so.
Not to mention she both drowns and is poisoned at the same time.
Can you beat this game and have the princess with you when you go to the end?
Oh yes.
We may in fact do that depending on what the outcome of this incentive is.
So you want an 18th level and a princess in your hand.
Agreed.
Princess is slower, so you
So
have
what's
Just
your
throw the
killing
princess
the
at the dragon
How are we
lord.
doing on the level 18 and Puff Puff message?
They're at 232 out of 300 for fighting the Dragon Lord, and still $0 for the Puff Puff.
Oh
Well, the
wow.
Puff Puff is going to be after the run, so the priority is getting the Dragon Lord at 18.
Alright, let's do this, guys. $7. You
Sure,
got it.
both are good high priorities.
One's a slightly higher priority for doing it at level 18.
Plus,
With a
the
princess in
faster,
her
if
hand.
we do it at level 18, then we can get to the Puff Puff message faster. I almost said the wrong thing.
Were you supposed to
Did
leave
you
the
wait?
prince?
Wait!
Oh,
Did you leave the
abandoned
princess?
her.
Oh, did I?
no.
Oh, ooh.
You better go get that
Yeah,
princess.
we should go get her.
I was waiting for you to die in the last square.
That pre-planned,
He's done this so many times. He's just getting forgetful. It's like
I know.
she's here. I could have sworn I didn't see her.
I checked all over that cave. There were no princesses there.
Agreed, I saw. You definitely, I mean, you at least...
Well, and then he thought that
I'll-
maybe she
I'll
walked
double-
out on her own.
It's
Look,
like,
I mean,
I'll double check just to make you happy.
He made cursory efforts, it was fine.
Look, I will make it up.
Oh, she was here.
I will
She
make it up
just
to you
late.
guys by dropping the princess in the electricity this time.
Yeah. Wait, am I supposed to be cheering that?
Look at her, she's blushing. She knows what's coming.
Future bid war incentive: death by swamp, death by electricity.
Now we need like a fire trip or a trap or something, so we can add another one.
If this was Dragon Warrior 2, you'd have several ways to die.
Oh my god, look at this lag. It's beautiful.
It's too bad we can't just like toss her into the middle of that electrical trap right at the entrance there.
Yeah.
That would save
The
time.
fountain with the electricity in the very center. I'm sure that's perfectly safe.
This is one sadistic king.
Well, does the king even?
Yeah, the king don't know anything that's
doing
going on.
this?
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it though. If you drop someone in electricity, he gets to buy keys at the same time. Multitasking.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think he needs to hire new guards because you think the guards would be like, "The princess is back! Go tell the king!"
Oh, the princess.
And then the king would be like, "Okay, where's my daughter? I was told she was here."
I don't know, man. I came in, she was there, and then I went to the basement, and I don't know, she just...
Actually, you don't have to say anything
wasn't
because
there.
you need a magic key to get to the trap, and there's no way to get the magic key unless you buy a magic key from another
Yeah.
town.
That has to be one lonely merchant there.
I know.
Just think
Okay,
though,
you know
the
what?
king's guards only had to go down to the basement to get you this time. You're making their job easier.
I want to know why they still only could get half my gold back. Like, it should be just sitting there in a pile.
For those who are available, dinner is served.
And it's no good.
Those are my favorite several words. I didn't want to count how many they were though.
There's only 3 of them you have to pay attention to.
Delicious.
Dinner is served.
Delicious.
I didn't get past dinner,
princess.
dude.
Yes.
Yum.
I guess I'll take one for the team and get some dinner.
Dinner
I'll be
is
back.
late.
I can't handle these princesses dying.
Poor high spirits.
Actually, if you think about it, though,
It's tough.
the Dragon Warrior, he's killing off these princesses as job security. Because if he does return a princess, he's out of a job.
Yeah.
There's no more
Agreed.
princesses.
There is still the Dragon Lord though.
There's still the Dragon Lord, but
I mean, he's killing all his minions. Like, what's he gonna be a lord of?
Yeah.
so so by multiple princesses being kidnapped, as long as he goes, there's plenty of dragons to kill. Dragon Warrior keeps getting paid for doing the same job over and over.
Except
The king's none the
you
wiser.
kill yourself, and you're paying the king for the privilege, giving him half your gold. So, I don't know, man. I'm not
that's
sure
true.
that
That's
the
true.
economics doesn't seem to work
Yeah.
out here.
Well, it gets cheaper each time because.
That is true.
We had to revive you. You only had 2 gold on you, so we took 1.
All this time I've been trying to think of what his shield stands for. It's a Y! Is it for yogurt? Is it a dowsing rod? Is it a tuning fork?
Could be Wyvern.
Could be Wyvern.
Well, I think this princess needs some variety, so we're going to take her to a different swamp.
Aw,
After
the
we-
other one on the
After we
side
first
of
run
the
her through this swamp.
It's just getting her ready.
You know, gotta show her. Now, this is your first option here, but I want to take you and show you a better option.
She's going swamp hunting, basically.
Basically, there is a game besides just killing princesses, so we're going to do a little bit of questing. I'm sorry, we'll get
Wait,
back to killing
really?
princesses really right after this.
No, when did that happen?
It's in the remix.
Did they patch it in?
This is the version 3.0 of Dragon Quest.
This must be the expansion.
Yeah, so this guy's blah, 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 whatever.
You have the harp. You
Plot,
get stabbed.
plot, fizz.
Thank you, Brett.
That's kind of what's going to happen.
Oh,
Do
what a
plot,
oh,
plot,
oh,
and
what a
then-
cutscene it is.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta
I
give this
tried-
one a tour of town too.
I tried
Yeah.
to ignore Darkwing, but then you chimed in.
We're going to stay at
I
the inn
have
together,
assistants.
Oh.
it does give you a different message.
Excuse me,
if-
Jai.
because
This
you-
is rated.
You
This
were
marathon's
up late,
PG.
huh?
You are
Alright.
treating her to such a great life right now.
Well-
Giving her hope for the future.
I know a guy who is kind of a jerk in this game.
It's not.
And it's amazingly not the guy dropping her in the swamp.
No, that
Yeah,
was
you
some
are
other
that
dragon
guy.
warrior.
You don't know him. You are him.
But we're coming up on where we need to get Erdrick's armor. In this version, it's called Lodo's armor, which is the same as in the Japanese version of the game. And it's guarded by a knight who likes to cast sleep, which basically you can get sleep locked and have no opportunity whatsoever to win.
So you're going to throw the princess in front
I was
of
gonna
him?
say,
I-
you can use the princess as a shield for this.
I am hoping the princess will distract him. But if not,
He might be surprised by her.
we'll get more princesses in the future, don't worry.
You walk up carrying the princess, and he'll be like, "Whoa, where'd that princess that you walked up with come from?" Yeah, you get it. Yeah, take that, Wyvern.
Burn.
So which teams are you guys on for those? You have a team, right, Buato?
I've had many teams.
So you're not Ultros, Wyvern, what are the other ones? Egg?
Team Egg.
I feel like Adam identifies most with Team Wyverns.
Okay.
Somehow.
That was my first relay team, the one and only relay I actually played in.
Furthermore is Fireband.
I know.
Firemore.
Yeah.
They can
Bane
they
more.
can fit Bane but not Ball.
Yeah.
Yep. Hurt Bell. Hurt Min.
Urban.
So this guy's scary. I'm gonna do him blind.
All right. Good luck.
Tell me if I die.
Hey, don't look.
That's sounding bad.
It's not going so good.
You won.
Aww.
Bible thumb.
Oh, no.
I hope this does
See,
not
now you're
happen
a
again.
liar.
Tyler.
Now you're a liar. You promised the princess that she'd get to see a swamp before she died.
He did.
Yeah.
He was
Oh
standing
yeah,
on
that's
one.
right. It was standing one.
And now
I
the
take
Axe Knight has something to stand on.
That
So we're
actually,
trying to gain favor.
you've
favor with
unleashed
the
a
Axe
horrible
Knight.
evil upon
Because
the
he'll let
world.
you through without having to
Also,
play him.
Oh, no, wait.
he has a new axe hand.
It's okay. There's a second
Yes.
Thomas. You can't escape. It's fine. But if you take a second princess there, we're gonna have a real problem. The true evil of the Axe Knight shall be unleashed.
What level are you at now, anyway?
This is 16. There's no difference really between 15 and 16 in terms of whether or not you're going to survive that battle. I do 16 just so if you do survive, you grind after this in the swamps outside of there, which is a convenient place for puzzling princesses.
Do you not use stop spell, or is that just the try without stop spell?
It is incredibly unlikely to work for both stop spell and sleep.
In this version? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or at least it's just incredibly unlikely for me to have it work.
Particularly in a marathon run.
Yeah.
So you should try it this time and it'll work first try.
Nah, I think I will.
Well, you know what they say. Valor's the better part of discretion. Just give it a try.
I'm a very simple dragon warrior. I'm just there for the attacking.
I remember what DW says. I never run.
Yeah.
Oh!
Surprise!
This one I can buy, just because he just
Yeah.
kind of pops out of nowhere and...
Yeah, you never would have realized he was there.
He was
after
hiding
first
under
time you just
the
fought him.
princess body you just deposited here a minute ago.
First try!
Yeah.
Or second try. It's his first try at the second try.
The princess distracted him.
So despite getting surprised and him using sleep, we still managed to prevail. And now we've got the best armor in the game, which
That's a lot of armor.
actually is going to allow us to walk on swaps and barrier tiles. No more killing princesses that way.
Oh.
Yes. But he's got more in his bag.
I have other options.
Like it or not, they will not survive the voyage. I mean, we all get pretty much.
And this was really when you're supposed to have gone down to that town and did all the way back at the beginning for the golem.
That was a very...
I should have brought my metal slime. I completely chased it. I should have brought it. It would have been fun.
You should have brought dropping it.
Yeah, I should have brought Droppy.
We'll put you to
That's a
sleep.
great name for her, too. My niece named my metal slime. She had no idea what Dragon Warrior is. I showed her it. Name him. She asked him what his name was because she wanted to introduce the metal slime to her Minnie Mouse doll or something. And it's like asking what his name. I don't know what its name is. What's his name? And she said Droppy, which was really good.
Do you have any donation comments?
We do have one. A $20 donation from Rocket Pineapple.
Hey.
Hey guys, Marathon looks really good. Looking forward to watching some hype RPG speedruns this week. Glad you're donating to a wonderful cause, too. Here's $10 towards fighting the Dragon Lord at level 18 and $10 to name Ducklet Jerkbird in Pokemon Black. Good luck to all the runners and have an awesome week.
It's a true shame that the limit for characters for Pokemon names is 10 characters. We can't fit RPG Jerkbird. But we could fit RPG Jerkbird. So, you know.
Or
It
you
was
could
just
do straight up
Jerkbird, there was
Jerkbird.
no RPG.
I know. I'm just saying, if you wanted to do the full thing, alas.
True.
Limitations. You do RPG Jerkbird.
Thanks to all the quality time he's been getting with these swamps, he's now able to draw power from them and actually get healed instead of damage too.
He's absorbed their essence.
Now, what I'm doing here is a setup for the level 18 Dragon Lord fight, so don't disappoint me, people. Basically, we're going to grind to level 17 in this area, and then we're going to go through into Charlock to get Erdrick's sword, and the second time through in order to try the Dragon Lord at 18.
So how much more do we need to make
Like
that
$50,
inside?
something like that.
As of right now, it is still at 242 out of 300.
$58.
Excuse me real quick.
The legit may need to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to take a quick trip to the...
Somewhere.
So,
By that he means he needs to go get dinner.
But
the amount of
Vulcan
people
has returned
donated
in slime form.
that had as many princesses died, you only need to donate like $1.
Yeah.
Not, that much.
Here we go, trying to create an extinction of the green dragons again.
Yeah, sadly, these are the weaker cousins of that big green dragon. They don't give nearly as much experience.
So these
They've
are
given
all-
up.
Yeah.
These are the ones who were not hired in the beginning.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
You're big, you're fearsome, you think you got some great qualities, but sorry,
Got some potential. But
your cousin over here is much more,
Yeah,
can
we'll-
breathe fire a lot better.
We'll keep you on our waiting list. Yeah.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yes.
Here, take a number ticket here. Just show up when we call your number.
You guys gave me number 5,273,422.
Yeah, we'll need you eventually. We'll get to you eventually.
I've got number 65,535.
Strong number.
So while I'm wandering around these swamps and mountains here, host, can you tell us a little bit about the event and what we're doing here?
Indeed, this is RPG Limit Break 2015, a charity speedrunning marathon focused on role-playing video games, held in Salt Lake City, Utah. We are holding this event for the benefit of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I'm sure you headphone users are glad I managed to not sneeze into the host mic.
Some of the rest of us.
They focus on education, advocacy, research, and local level outreach for those affected by and the family, those close to those affected by mental illness.
Was that some good grub?
No, I just had to go use the whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go outside.
Now, in this version of the game, there's been changes in terms of how Lodo's armor works. So I'm only getting half as much recovery per step as in the Super Famicom version. So if you see the Japanese runs, basically they never need to heal at this point, because just walking around is sufficient. And if it happens to be that they need to take a little break from the encounters, you can go up off these mountain tiles, which have an elevated encounter rate, walk around the plains temporarily. Because I'm getting half heal, that means it's better to just recover. Same thing's going to happen in Charlotte Castle.
And I do have some news here. The level 18 Dragon Lord fight has just been met. I have no idea how.
Yeah, good job, whoever did that.
First off, we have a $10 donation from Smarvelous. Hey y'all, had to donate during Dragon Quest, one of my favorite series. Koichi Sugiyama Hype. Keep up all the great work and put this $10 towards fighting the Dragon Lord. Also, we have a $48 donation from Viulejin. Or
It's a Voyagin.
that's it.
Looks like a
Got
village.
it. Okay.
Village Inn.
Village
That's a restaurant near my hometown.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. What a coincidence.
There's one near where I live too, just down the street.
As promised, $5 per Legendary in Diablo 3 and an extra $1 per 10 deaths or something, whatever. Let's do that level 18 Dragon Lord. We also have a $15 donation from Slain V. I wish I would have remembered it was happening now, otherwise I'll have hyped it more. Keep showing the world that the videos community is a force for good. Here are $15 for the Puff Puff massage, since no one thought about it until now. It has to happen.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Especially now that we've met level 18 Dragon Lord, let's get to Puff Puff. I want to see something truly, truly unacceptable nude.
Mentally scarred.
In this PG-rated marathon.
This was so bad that they did have to take it out of the game.
Yep.
So, generations of children in the 1980s would have been traumatized by what you're about to see if you go out for it.
So namely, most of us here would have been
All the
traumatized.
taboos. Yeah, all the taboos would have been broken. Oh my goodness. Whew. So good.
Yeah.
Blush.
If it wasn't kind of obvious too, he's with Lodo's armor and the level he's at, it is more efficient to just grind in this part of the map instead of to continue tossing princesses into swamps.
I mean, it's pretty much break even, but that swamp's getting kind of full right now.
I'm here for you, princess.
Oh, they're long gone.
Yeah. It was never meant to be.
Also, a reminder that we do have some prizes that are available during this run. If you donate at least $5, you are eligible to win either that plushie that you see. The Village Inn, was it?
Vujin.
Or Vujin, okay.
Vujilin.
Vujilin, okay. Holding in the middle of the couch. or a GBC
To live.
Game Boy Color, that is, cart of Dragon Warrior Monsters, both donated by Ozzy889. Or, if you donate $25, or no, 15, sorry, a minimum of $15 from now until Castle of the Winds, you will be eligible for an Elgato Game Capture HD.
Oh man.
Yep, we got level 17, which is really the minimum that you need in order to beat the game.
So I have a chance.
Yeah. With a Taz, you can do it at a lower level, but this is where you get the heal more spell, and that's the only thing that's going to out-heal damage output of the late game monsters. So just healing in battle, you'll actually continuously go down
So-
in HP, even if you heal every time.
Getting to level 17 means you have no idea how to use a sword again?
I'm just trying.
He was using it. Just he kept grabbing the pointy end.
Yeah.
I imagine like when you go to like use a weapon in one of these games where that's not a thing, you're just like picking it up by like the hilt and just being like,
All the while you're getting slapped in the face by a wyvern.
Yeah.
how do swords?
Because you're someone who get slapped in the face with a large fish. Just hurting her.
No, a lot of the reason why those are in is because they changed the game mechanics for basically upgrades to the engine that you see, which is kind of like the Dragon Warrior 5 engine. And it's the same for Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 in this combo card. So I think there are items that you can get, like if you get the Flame Sword for whatever strange reason that you would go and do that, then it would cast Fireball in battle, which is completely useless.
Slime slide.
You got
Fireball.
scared by the spooky, whatever it is in this game.
So we doing level 18 strats?
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna do some level 18, but I'm told I need to get a princess.
It should be noted, you walked through that previous swamp without taking damage. That's because of the bridge you've already made.
Yeah. So what's so special about this princess, huh?
She is Laura the
23rd, I don't know.
umpteenth.
The umpteenth.
We finally found the right castle.
So I'm told that the princess needs to go back to a castle. We are going to take her to a castle.
You're such a kind person.
Wait. Wasn't she originally scheduled to be wed to the Dragon Lord?
I guess that's true.
That was who you just killed with the Dragon Lord's brother.
I would have
You
been made
jealous?
Dragon Lord's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Blush.
Blush.
This time you actually mean it, don't you?
And this, and if you donate for the Puff Puff message, you too can say out loud.
Funny, he doesn't look bluish. Help me! DWD pun!
There are no words, only palms.
Only blush.
Speaking of
we like her so much we brought her back into the cave, by the way.
speaking of things that may help inspire blush, we have a $30 donation from Incroyable Bébé. Hopefully I did not butcher that.
Merci beaucoup.
Hey there, commenting this on French Restream right now. Smiley face. Here's the Puff Puff. Make it happen!
Yes.
You showed her another
Multitasking,
swamp,
we
too.
appreciate it.
Yeah, shoutouts to Incroyable for organizing the French Restream for RPG Limit Break.
He's been in my chat too much.
Been doing a great job so far.
You should go ahead and plug our restreams.
Yeah, like we've
Yes.
got more than just the one.
We have two restreams, in fact, one a French restream being run by the aforementioned Incroyable, as well as a German restream being organized by Almegas. So many thanks to
And I believe it is RPG Limit Break _FR for French and German Restream for German.
and many thanks, vielen Dank, auch.
We couldn't do it.
I always wanted to travel. Thank me for taking me everywhere.
There's a swamp down there.
I'll be nice, I promise.
I'm just saying.
You should take her through it. Just just for
Take one step and blush again. Guess where you're going.
All the world's a swamp, and we are but princesses.
So what I was doing there is getting the rainbow drop. That involves all of the quest items that we've collected so far being put together, which allows us to get access to the final castle. Here's the tour of the swamp. We'll give her a quick show around.
We gotta see if she likes this one.
Yeah.
Well, she heard that her sisters all got
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
swamp tour.
At least this swamp has room now, because the other one's kind of full.
It's a nice swamp. It's kind of irregularly shaped, but you know, there's room for princesses to grow in there.
Has a nice view of the hills.
Kind of reminds me of the Little Dipper too.
That's appropriate since you dip her into the swamp. I'm sorry, that took me way too long to. I'll be more.
Thanks
on
for
point
trying.
next time. Back to the Montreal Scorpio.
Yes.
Scorpios.
It's a really weird
We're
zone
starting
line.
to lose our minds in hunger after smelling Denton's food out there.
Or from lack of sleep.
Or both.
We just lost our minds in general.
Or from being old enough to appreciate this game too.
Shout out to those of us who have 3 in our age.
In the first digit. Don't forget.
Shout out to those of us who have 2 3s in our age.
Ooh, yeah.
Youngins. Youngins.
You old
Oh, I think
man.
he's part of it too.
He is.
Yes.
I can't handle all you children.
It's alright, high spirits are young at heart.
Fine,
No,
I'll
I'm
get
old
off
at
your
heart
lawn.
Somebody has a lawn.
Get off my lawn.
That's on Friday.
Oh,
Your
He's got a
Dragon
nice
Warrior
lawn
carts
outside,
and
didn't you
your
see it? Nice and
VHS
green.
tapes.
So what I'm doing there is stocking up for all of the consumable items that I could possibly carry into Charlock. When I go for the second time, which will be the real trip in there, I don't want to use any magic at all whatsoever until I get to the Dragon Lord. Otherwise, the chances of winning the fight go down dramatically. Which means herbs
They're
for
not that
emergency
high to
healing,
begin with. at level
torches
18,
for
yeah.
light, just running away from as much as possible. The first trip I could be a little bit more lenient, and so I'm going to try to get level 18 just walking through here naturally.
Now, what are the odds of you beating Dragon Warrior level 18?
Depends on how kind the Dragon Lord is.
On average.
Rainbow derp.
yeah,
It's a good 60%.
It's not bad.
Rainbow drip.
That's better than the advanced version.
That's actually the better animation, I think. You actually have a bucket of rainbow being poured from the sky. The Super Famicom version just kind of pulses, and suddenly,
Yeah.
here's a bridge.
Maybe like in Dragon Warrior HD, it'll be made of Skittles or something.
Taste the rainbow. Right.
Excuse me, we are not using trademark terminology around here.
Yeah.
Scuttles.
Scoodles.
Taste of the prismatic.
Yeah.
Thistle.
Yeah.
Taste the
that's good, actually. I like
refracted
that. That's a
light.
good mental image. First tongues. So I'm just getting that in like about
Yes.
4 days in advance.
Yes.
Oh, he just crushed the slime!
Poor
Oh,
babies.
how much? I probably
Don't worry,
did 3
I
damage to
I think
it.
Soleil's probably did worse when she had it.
And most of the maps so far have been
Sleaze
pretty much
probably made it
identical
same
between
blush,
the Game Boy and the NES version, so you pretty much can find your way around. Charlock is totally different. Charlock in the NES is a lot of stairs, very difficult line to pass. This is long and linear, so it's a much longer dungeon, even if you know exactly where to go.
Hi, Princess. Do you like electricity?
And I will have something for DW
I
to
will
say.
light your world.
I do have something, DW, that you need to say on the square behind the throne here.
Gorsh. A stairway.
They took it out.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, it just says a hidden stairwell. They have a wonderful gosh, and you can...
Gorsh.
Yeah.
Is that a notch, DW?
No, half a notch.
Half notch.
No, that's just an oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh.
Yeah.
That's called actual localization.
These guys are still jerks.
Man, no, See, not falling asleep is so foreign. That should be a notch right there.
I feel like your notches are somewhat biased.
You do have a reduced chance of sleep and stop smell working when you've got Lodo's armor on.
So if you missed what he said a bit earlier, the reason why he has to do 2 trips through Charlotte Castle is because of the movement in this game being based on full tiles instead of half tiles. So that halves the amount of healing he gets from Erdrake or Lodo's armor.
If you're really crazy, you can do it in 1 trip, and you can do it at level 17, which I did over the weekend. That's the world record for this game in 1 hour and 29 minutes. It's like 14 minutes faster than any other completion, just because I finished at level 17, which is really, really improbable. Other than that, like if you do it pretty much straight through, level 18 is not quite as bad, although you will take multiple attempts to complete runs. That's like an hour 45 in the typical ones. For casual play, I kind of recommend getting up to like level 21 or so.
What's the world record on the NES version at these days, too, by the way?
The Super Famicom record is 1 hour 19 minutes.
5:35, I think.
Oh,
5:29 for the NES.
Yeah, the NES version.
Oh, the NES, yeah. The reason why you're playing this version of the game
Save about 4 hours.
is because it is 4 hours faster. All of that just grinding opening chests.
It's all grinding, yeah.
The chest opening is so mesmerizing.
Oh, dude, those chests.
And then you get
Someone's
that door
got it.
every once in a
I
while.
know.
It's like, yes, yeah!
Yeah.
Something different!
All these over-unders on how much gold he's going to get from the next chest, too.
You can do donation incentives for right down versus down right. It's like thrilling.
Which chest do I open?
I'm thrilled just talking about it.
The most exciting part of the run is which chest do I open?
Yes. Which chest gets to be the chest of chests?
In addition to the guard sitting inside of there who says, "Don't steal."
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
And then sometimes he's nice and he blocks your way when you want to leave. I told you not to steal.
Now, one thing I haven't mentioned, but you might have noticed, is that as I get lower and lower in the dungeons, the music gets slower and somber. That's a carryover from a lot of the games in here, and I like the effect. It's like a really small thing that adds some character to it.
Torches are beautiful.
Yeah, but
They're ineffective, though.
Yeah, if I didn't have my own torch, those torches would not be helping you whatsoever. And kind of a strange thing for a lot of RPGs, the plain old regular torch is more effective than your magic spell. So you do have the radiant spell, but it will wear off, whereas the torch just lasts forever.
Alright, that's a notch.
Now, in the favor of this game, it starts off like 2 grid squares
Yes.
smaller, and so you really can't see anything at all about where you're going.
Well, the torch in the NES version is 1 square around you, extra. Radiant gives you
4, I think.
3 or 4.
4 for like 60 steps, 3 for 90, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a 45, something like that. Stop!
Ooh,
I gotta reset, guys.
see the Dragon Lord is upgrading his floor tiles to
Yep.
be more imposing.
Yeah, for some reason they decided to start like remodeling from the bottom and working their way up.
Well, he did hire them in the basement. He told them, "Come on down. We'll negotiate."
Alright, let's not make this any more unbearable than it already.
We're just livening it up, is all.
No, I am hoping for a particular enemy. The red dragons here are the best things to get for experience. These guys are the worst things to get for experience. The red dragons give 350 experience, which is the best monster in the game outside of the green dragon and the golem. And they changed the red dragon. Dark will be happy to know.
Yay, they no longer cast sleep.
They cast stop spell instead.
We won't put you to sleep. You're not healing this fight. No, it gets even slower.
Let's make how do we make this game easier? Let's give the red dragon stomp spell. That'll do it.
So I'm going to raid the Dragon Lord's treasury since we're here. This is only useful if you're doing 2 trips through the castle. I'm going to get a Mystic Nut, which is going to give me additional MP. And you only get your MP back when you stay in the inn, so leveling up or anything else that you can do in here wouldn't recover it.
Is there a cursed belt in that?
There is a demon belt
Yay!
right there. Maybe it's the devil belt? It's something, because they have to really abbreviate it. I can kind of see a Dragon Lord over there.
Doing all the walls.
You're still at 17, aren't you?
Yep, I'm going to see how close I am.
You
So-
can tell?
Well, I looked at my experience total,
Ah,
and so I know it's 21,418. No, but if you really play the game, you get an item called Lore's Love, which is giving you more information about where you are in the world. That's how you're supposed to have found the Lotus Seal. Fortunately, I know exactly where it is, because it's in a swamp. Probably a princess dropped it there.
I wonder why she dropped it there.
Well, that would explain why a princess would know where it's at.
So here's the Dragon Lord. He's nice and just hanging out. We'll see if we can grind to level 18 in his presence. Hopefully he will send us some red dragons. Yeah.
Don't sound too excited.
Stop spell!
No.
Oh no!
My spells have been stopped.
Dude, now your name is Jarex. That's a pretty cool name. I mean, you're better than Jar.
That's more than 4 characters. You're not allowed to speak on this game now.
Oh, that's true. You exploited the game. They report you to,
I'll report it to Twist Police.
yes.
our knights are Firebane.
Firebane and also Healmore. So they're a lot of fun.
What
That's
is
a
it?
word.
Already encounter rate around him?
No, it's exactly the same encounter rate for everything in the dungeon.
I don't want you pesky guys around me. Go away.
Yeah.
How many laps are we doing around this thing?
Gotta get your exercise, man. I mean,
Well, and
carry-
he's carrying the princess.
yeah, I
too,
mean,
so
that's
it's like,
Like,
it's good- it's
this
good
is
to be
really
on
gonna
Vandalin.
this is really gonna bulk us up. So we should be able to get level 18 on the next battle.
It's great charging.
just need the Rocky theme to be playing while he's doing
Oh no, wait, no, copy.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
no music. Okay, there's level 18. Now, to get out of here would take a while. So let's see if the Dragon Lord has some offers for us. Oh, and he thanks us for bringing the princess.
Oh, he's the king of kings.
Yeah. Half the world sounds pretty good. Let's join him. Would you like my princess? I got one of those too.
Don't worry.
We'll give him the
I'll
sword.
take the princess.
He doesn't actually take the sword. And he also conveniently sends you back to the inn over at Rimledon here, which has now cut off half the walk.
What a nice guy.
I guess he didn't want the princess either.
Wow.
Yeah, kept the princess, got all my items, like he hasn't done anything to you.
I feel sorry. First you drown him all
That's
this
like 2
while.
notches right there.
Yeah, because he didn't soft lock the game like he does in the NES version. Yeah.
Just bad ending.
So you drop a dozen of them, dozens of them in swamp. The father doesn't want them. Dragon Lord hates him first,
doesn't
though.
want her either.
It's truly a tragic story of the line of Laura.
Well, we'll see if this Laura makes it to us through the end of the game.
Alright.
I'm feeling good things about this one.
We got this. 3 crits.
Bring that up.
You're very welcome. I got your back.
Right
So-
now, I'd like to give. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
in practice before the run, I got 3 critical hits in the Dragon Lord fight. Critical hits are 1 in 64.
Edge in this game
Yes.
against the Dragon Lord.
In fact, that's the only way to win at like 16 or 17.
Is that like 3 notches?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're getting close to underflowing the notches.
No, it's overflow.
Yeah.
I guess that means Gyre is now a proud member of the club too, since Ascension I got 0 Black Omen elevator battles in our practice run the other day, which I didn't even know was possible.
Yeah, I've never seen more than 2 in a battle. Like, anyone. And when you get that many, it's like the whole thing's 7 turns.
Anyway, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of the artists who helped make RPG Limit Break look as good as it does. Hopefully you enjoy it, the look. I do. I think it looks good.
It's great from here.
Our stream layouts were designed by Megan Roach. You can find her website at www.meganroach, meaganroach.com. Our logo, as well as a couple of our emotes, the RPG Jerkbird and RPG Good Taste, were designed by Carrie Fry. Her website is www.carriefry.com. And finally, LLK of the Speed Gamers designed our promo banners as well as the RPG Level Up and RPG What emotes. Her website is www.jazaboo.com, Jazaaboo.
And you missed it earlier, there's the vaunted quadruple run fail. A nice 1 in 512 chance.
Is that better or worse odds than 3 crits?
64,
That is
1 in
worse.
64,
That-
1 in
that's-
64.
Yeah.
3 crits is like really, really unlikely.
Yep.
That's like getting dropped in the swamp 50 times.
So, can we have an update on the Puff Puff massage?
Puff puff mess out.
Yeah.
It is at $60 out of 150.
Where are you guys? Come on.
Not even halfway. Come on.
Dude, we need some puff puff in our life. And look how like tired and well, Gyre just
Yeah.
looks like he's relaxed and everything's fine. But like Adam and I are really pretty tired. So like, come on, get us a lovely puff puff massage.
You want to see us blush, right? Well, you want to hear us
Yeah,
blush.
we're not. We won't actually blush. Like we'll just, you know how,
Yeah.
you get it. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. We're fine. Blush.
So like he said a bit earlier, because he's actually going to try to fight the Dragon Lord this time, he can't use any magic at all in the regular encounters here. He just has to basically just hope that he the healing from load of his armor and I believe medical herbs too
I've got 6 herbs,
will carry him.
and I get 1
Double
HP
Dragon
per
Lord.
step, but you could get a step. You could get a battle, the shortest is 2 steps away from your previous encounter. The odds are not good of that happening. Like, it actually does give you a little bit of a break on that. But if you get very close ones, essentially you get no healing cover whatsoever.
Because he needs all of his MP for heal more spells for the Dragon Lord.
Gilmore is 10, right?
8.
Not.
That was quick. And accurate.
I think they're calling you a casual, basically. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know.
I don't
A lot of disrespect.
Don't say all of us.
He.
yeah.
I would like you to fight this Dragon Lord on your NES character.
With 8 magic.
Yeah.
Like, you can go up to level 25 if you want and fight this dragon. Because it is a lot harder of a fight.
Forget DWD boss B-Troll. This is DWD B-Troll.
The basic mechanics are, take the Dragon Lord from the NES version, double his hit points, give him additional spells to heal himself and make the fight take longer. It's no longer fixed turns, it's random plus your agility for who goes first, so you can't predict that and use that to cheat for whether you heal or not. And his attacks are like equally as big. And this is worth using an herb at this floor.
Urge to unnotch, growing.
Yeah.
We got this. This is it. This is the real deal. I mean, after all.
After these guys.
After all the red dragons he wanted earlier, but never got until he actually got to the room.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've had a lot of trips through here where I get 0 red dragons the first time and then 3 the second time. It's the least frequently seen monster on these last 2 floors, but still, you should get at least 4 per trip. So here we are, got a Dragon Lord, got a princess. Let's go for it.
Alright, good luck.
And this will be serious time. This time we're not going to join him. That was bad.
Yes. I'll offer you the other half this time.
Yeah. I didn't like that half.
That could have been really bad.
Wow.
Hopefully he's done with the sleeps and into the Fillmores now.
Already better than the NES version. Firebane's like the nice thing he can do to you.
Sadly, that's true.
Dragon Lord.
It's looking kind of grim unless we get very good luck on the second floor. So there's actually some manipulation going on there. The Dragon Lord's got 4 attacks. He goes heavy attack the first time, medium attack the second time, light attack the third time, and randomly light or medium the 4th time. So I've got breakpoints where I'm going between whether I need to have 102 or 66 HP to decide whether to heal or not. If it's close, you might want to use an herb rather than using your MP, otherwise you're going to run out. And having him miss really helped in that. So, we get the slowest guards in the world. Like, the GameCube's catching on fire right now. You can't see it on screen, but it is literally on fire. The Super Famicom version is completely smooth. It even took like 4 guards out, and it's still doing this.
Don't worry, they'll get there.
No, they're not going to get there because the princess needs to come back first.
Well, I don't know about any of you viewers, but I think this man
Oh, come
deserves his
on.
puff puff massage.
Come on. No, I don't want to take the princess.
No.
Okay, time.
How are you supposed to go to the puff puff part?
What we
with the
got?
princess?
209.37.
Pretty good. Oh, man. That improbable level 18 victory. Man, you had to heal more like 4 times on the first form. That was
I mean,
ridiculous.
did that dodge you got make the difference, or would you still have won?
It would have been really close. I had 2 more heals left, but you basically are not sure whether you're going to get a full attack per cycle in there. So that could have been enough, or it might not have been enough, depending on exactly how it went.
You had a couple of really close calls.
That's knowing the exact breakpoints. Like, I can be down to 1, and it's like, yeah, that's planned.
Puff puff status?
Yeah. We're gonna get some puff puff.
Please, puff puff. Please, puff puff.
Puff 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 puff.
No, it's at 75 out of 100.
Oh.
Actually, it's at about 150. I'll put the cash in.
Oh, alright.
All right.
Well then.
Thank you,
Puff
sir.
puff is happening.
We will get this puff puff one way or another.
Yes. This line approves.
We never really actually got to hear full of the town. That was pretty.
We did some good shopping in Canton.
Yeah.
Like, if you missed
Get
it,
all the way through.
you were...
I was right here. Unless that was while I was doing that other thing that definitely didn't involve donating to make the level 18 But man,
It's all-
that village end guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more fun to do level 18. It's not as guaranteed. Level 19, if you know the manipulation, almost 100%. As you can see, Dragon Lord can put you to sleep and you just never wake up. Or he casts Heal More 20 times and you run out of MP anyway, but you don't have to have like super good luck to do 19. 18 usually is just like, as long as bad stuff doesn't happen, you can make it. In this case, you know, he was healing a lot, he cast sleep a couple times, probably woke up quickly. 17, you need like super good luck. Usually at least, like,
I believe you mean jerk.
Yeah, RPG Jerkbird Studio.
Okay.
JP timing end.
Puff puff hype. Yes. Hype boop.
Oh.
Sorry, Paul, after my run.
I can't stand up.
Yeah.
How,
I know, good.
how
This
would the
catch is
grinding
great.
route have differed if you were doing level 19 Dragon Lord?
You can either do it in that area that I grinded to 17 and just go longer, or you could go back to Dragons, or you could do it in Sherlock.
In other words, the obvious choice is to go drop more princesses in the swamp.
Always.
That's really the choice for anyone at
Always
any time.
dropping princesses in the
Yeah.
swamp.
You say the word choice, like there is one.
I said the obvious choice.
But that's not implying that there was a choice.
Yeah.
The
There
other
is.
one just wasn't as obvious.
Yeah.
Pshaw, semantic nonsense.
Well, I guess the choice would be, you know, electrocuting versus swamp
Versus other swamp.
versus other swamp.
Versus resort swamp.
Swamp.
Like, we've got the swamp down by Rainbow Drop, we've got the swamp by the seal, that's a great one. It's huge.
Nope, lots of space. You drop her on the tile where you pick it up.
Might have buoyancy.
You go, with the electricity, you've got Tangent Castle. You also got Charlotte Castle.
Oh yeah.
You drop her in there.
I mean, after you kill the Dragon Lord, you get flowers blooming there thanks to the fertilizer.
Yeah, unfortunately you
Yeah.
can't kill the princess after the Dragon Lord.
Oh.
Otherwise, yes, I would have dropped her this way.
Weird.
So, this scene was something that would have fit the sensibilities of children, and so had to be removed from the NES version of the game. But they put it back in this version. It's for the more adult entertainment, and this is the Puff Puff massage.
Powder puff.
Just 20 gold.
Just 20 gold, honey.
Giggle.
They're all Jigglypuff.
Isn't it nice? You take me down there.
More puff puff than going. You get your 20 gold worth.
Puff, 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 puff. Giggle.
Giggle.
Blush.
And that's it for Dragon Warrior.
Yes.
Blush.
Blush.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. And let's announce our next run.